I'm Regina Sellers, and I'm the creator of Pro Bow the Hand. I have created a little tool because I sell a lot of bows, and I was having problems, some little problems of how to get it into the box without messing up all my loops. And so started thinking about it, and so this is the little tool that I have created. It's called the Craft Handy, and I use this, and I know you're just going to love it, and we're going to demonstrate just a moment. I'm going to walk you through every little step of what we do, because I get people who ask me this all the time. You know, what do I do to ship out a bow? So here we go. Let's get started. Okay, at this point, I have made my bow. This is it. This was an order. I've made my bow, and it's on my Pro Bow. Before I take it off of the Pro Bow, because I know I'm going to ship this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some paddle wire. Okay, very inexpensive. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and just get a long length of paddle wire, about so long. Or like we like to say, yay long. Okay, and it's just a long piece of paddle wire. Okay, you're going to go through almost like the helping hand. This is the wire that I'm going to use. You can start lifting it off, and this is the wire that I'm going to use to tie this bow into the box. Okay, so I just put it around, just a long piece of wire. I'm probably off camera, but it's just a long piece of wire that I'm putting through the middle of my bow. I'm just going to tie it right here, and then I'm just going to roll it up for a minute, because I'm getting it out of my way. So this is my piece of wire that I'm using. I'm just going to stick it in there for now, and then this is my wire that I have used to make my bow. So that is how I arrange my two pieces of wire. Okay, but I put that piece of wire on for now because I know I'm going to ship this, and I know I'm going to use that little piece of wire in just a moment. Okay, so that's all for that. So as you can see, I've just taken my bow off of the fluff box, that I have it all pretty and it's ready to go. Whenever I sell a tree topper, I use 10 yards of spool, 10 yards of ribbon, and so I do not cut the ribbon off. I give them the rest of the ribbon. Okay, as you can see. So here's my 3 spools of ribbon, and I took a pin and I pinned it closed. I put a pin on each side. You can see the pin there. Maybe you can see the pin. I think you can see that little white one. But anyway, it's a little straight pin. So I just pin my ribbon closed, but then I wrap one piece of wire around the spool, as you can see, and I've done each one because I'm going to drop this in the box. I'm going to tie my bow into the box, but I'm also going to tie my spools of ribbon. You only do this if you're selling the ribbon with your bow. Okay, I don't always do this. I just do it for my tree toppers. Okay, because they get all of the ribbon. So that is how I prepare my spools of ribbon, because they're going to go in the box also. Okay, so that now everything is ready, and you can see my piece of wire. I've moved it out. Here's my long piece of wire, and it's ready for me to go to the box. You see my piece of wire, that's my long pieces of wire that I put on my bow. Okay, I've pulled it out of the loop as I was fluffing, and there it is. Okay, and that's ready. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I always take a picture of my bow. As pretty as I can possibly get it. I had it sitting on the fluff box, and I took a picture of my tree topper. Okay, there it is. Fold it up. I always have a thank you card, always. Write whatever you want to write in your thank you card. I write all kind of stuff. This is going to a friend, so you know I wrote all kind of stuff. There's the picture, goes in the thank you card. That's ready. Okay, you can tape this card on the inside of the box. I usually tape it to the lid, to the little pieces that I'm going to fold over. Okay, that's what I usually do because I don't want this flopping around on my bow either. So I can tape this inside of the box. Okay, so now I have everything prepared and I'm ready to go to the box. And oh, let me say this. On a tree topper, and the reason why you take your picture is, of course, we want shipping to be as little as possible, you know, and every little bit that you take off of the bow, and make your box smaller, the better. So on this tree topper, and like I said, this is going to a friend, and a lot of time I'll ask my customer, you know, how much, you know, how do you feel about your shipping? Well, in this case, he was perfectly fine with me just laying the top loops down. That's the reason for the picture, okay? And so all you're gonna do is just kind of lay a few of the top loops down, but that's as much as I'm gonna do. I would never do any more than that. And I'm gonna lay those down, and then you can see, because the picture's included, can easily just pop these right back up, okay? And that's about as narrow as my box is. And now I'm ready to go to the box. Okay, so the next thing is, and this is where the problem always lies, how in the world am I gonna get that bow in that box and tied into the box, into the center of this box, without, you know, with my arms all in there, just messing my loops all up, okay? And that was always the problem. And so that's where the Craft Handy, that's really the reason why the Craft Handy was born, because I just needed something to help me, so I drained this up, okay? As you can see, because this is really handy to craft, okay? So as you can see, I've set, here's my box that I'm gonna ship my bow in, and I dropped my spools. My spools are sitting down in there. I'm not ready to deal with them yet, but they're down in the box. And you can see how I kind of push the top of my bow down. And look, this is what's so important right now, my little wires. You see my two little wires? And oh, look, you can see where I tape my thank you card on. But see my two little wires? Now, how in the world am I going to do that? How am I going to get those little wires? Okay, watch this. You're going to love it. Okay, don't fall in yet. Behave. Behave yourself, Bo. Okay? I made 2 slits in my box. See my slits that I made? I made the 2 slits because this is basically the center of my box, and I made 2 slits, and one is for each piece of wire, and I'm going to stick my Craft Handy in the slit. Come on, Bo, behave yourself. It's doing that because the little spools are kind of heavy. Sit up there. Okay, behave. Now, let's see. I want to make sure that you can see. I'm not sure that you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, I'm looking on the camera there. You can see. And you see the little slit? That's why there's a slit in the side, because I don't want you, I could not do this. I had tried this with a long needle and all that stuff, and I can't sit here and now thread needles. Can't do it. Can't. So that is why there's a slit in the side of the Craft Handy, and all I did was pull it in, look at my piece of wire, right through. And I did not have to put my arms down in the box. Isn't that wonderful? This is going to help you so much. Now, let's go get the other piece. Put your little Craft Handy in the slit. Move it up. See the little piece of wire? Let's see if you can see. I'm watching over here on the camera. Can you see? Yeah, there he is. See it? See my little Craft Handy? See the little slit? All you have to do is take your piece of wire. I just slid it in there, and now look, I'm just pulling it. Look how gentle, and I just pulled it, and I pulled it out. Now I have a hold of both pieces of wire, and now I am going to just take the edge from one of my loops, and I'm going to turn my bow sideways and just drop it into my box. Drop it into the box. I'm pulling as I go because I don't want my bow to fall down in the box, and I'm pulling and I'm setting my bow right where I want it. See, I haven't let go of it yet, and I'm setting it. And I'm gonna pull tight, and that's as tight as it'll go. I could, look, me and my fluffing. Look, I'm fluffing up my loops. Any loop that I can see from this position, I'm looking down in there, I'm fluffing them back up, I'm fluffing out everything that I possibly can. And now I'm going to just take this wire, and I'm going to bring it over to one of the little holes, go around just a couple of times, do like this, okay? Because your UPS man or whoever that you ship through is going to demand that you do this. And of course you would do this. Because you can't have that catching on any conveyor belt or anything. Let's see, let me make sure I'm on camera. See where I wrapped it up? And then you're just going to take tape and cover the holes. And you're just going to cover those holes and cover the wire. Okay, let me see. Let me make sure I'm on camera and y'all can see me good. Yes. And you're just going to take your tape and you're going to cover your wire. And y'all, that's all it is. That's all it is. That's all there is to it. My bow is sitting in there. Look at that. You see from this side I can reach in. It is tied in place. I didn't have to put my arms down in the box and fool with it and mess up all my loops. And you want it to just sit in there as pretty as it can possibly be, and it's ready for shipping. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I've used this box. Close this, and I'm going to take that off. And what I would do is flip my box over carefully. I'm going to flip my box over. Let's turn it this way, because now I need to deal with, see, I had some tape here to just hold my box closed, and now I can flip my box over, and now I'm looking at it from the bottom. Okay, and look what I can do. I can reach in, I can just reach in, and there's my 3 spools of ribbon that I'm now going to wire to the side of my box. And I'm gonna wire them, like this one is gonna go way up here. And for this process, I don't need the craft handy because I can just easily reach it. I'm just going to cut a hole. I'm just gonna cut a hole. I'm going to cut 2 little holes right here. Of course you could, let's go ahead and do it anyway, because it might be hard to kind of get that through there. Let's just see how that works. You see how you can just stick it in? And you see you don't have to, is that incredibly easy? Pull it out. Boom, your wire is out of your box. And it's done. Let's do another one. And I'm gonna roll that up and cover it with tape. Let's get another one, because we don't want our spools of ribbon flopping all around and flopping all over the bow whenever it's shipped, whenever it's in shipping. Okay? Let's make a little slit. I'm gonna grab 1 piece of wire. I know you can't see it, but see how I have my 2 little pieces of wire? Look, I just sit it in the little slit, pull it through. How incredibly easy is that? There it is. Slip it through. You could feed it through right here, right now, but it's just, I mean, look how fast this is. I mean, that is just incredibly fast. And there it is. Wire it off. This could never leave like this. You have to curl it up and you have to put tape over it. The post office, UPS, every FedEx, they all demand that you do that. And y'all, that's all there is. That's all there is to it. But I think you can see, let me cover it this way. I'll probably put 2 pieces of tape. Y'all, if I can, if there's a little extra thing to do, I always do the little extra thing. So there it is. And you can see that the spools, you see how the spools, you see, make sure I'm on camera. You see how the spools, okay, that's flaps in the way. You see how the spools are now wired into the box already? And then the third one is going to go right here, okay? So, but I think y'all get the idea. I'm going to turn this one over. Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just make sure that y'all see it and see all of them. Let's see, I'm looking on the camera. Can you see? Yep, y'all can easily see what I'm doing. And so I'm going to make my little slit here, make my little slit here. Stick my craft handy in. Let's see if y'all can see. I think you can. See where it came up? See my little craft handy? See my little piece of wire? Slip it right in there. You know, all that. Like I said, I tried the needle and the long knitting needle. I've tried all kind of things, but it was just I just could not deal with threading a needle and all of that. It was entirely too much. I think y'all can see how fast that was. And just use your craft handy to just get in there, grab what you need, turn this over. Y'all, every second that you can save, we all know that time is money, and every second that you can save, you need to save it. Because I mean, especially if you're running a business, and this is not a hobby for me. I mean, this is business, and I'm getting old. So anytime that I can cut a few minutes off of something, believe me, I do. And if the next thing I'm going to figure out is how to for tape, never to get caught on it. So in these dispensers, because this drives me crazy too. Okay, there we go. And there it is. And look at there. Well, just soon put some tape over this one too. Let's just get it done. It's got to be done anyway. A little piece of tape over it. That'll do. And now look at this. Let's look in there. Let's look in our box and see what we have. Okay, there's our spools of ribbon. They are not moving. They're not going anywhere. And your bow is sitting there in your box. No matter how it gets thrown, that bow is not going to get messed up. And look how pretty the loops look. Look at the loops. Look how incredibly easy that was. And look at me. I'm going to foo-foo the end before I close it up and make it look pretty in there. Okay? So y'all, that's how I do it. And for me not to have to be digging in there and messing all my loops up and just grabbing that wire and pulling it out just as fast as I can, this is what you need. Craft Handy. It's going to save you lots and lots of time. Okay? Now let's see what else we can do with our Craft Handy.